Hi, you ready?
Yes.
Gusta got the corporate profile from a lawyer, and through the document, I spoke to someone who connected me to the landlord. Do we think this number is good?
Yes.
Oh, you called already and spoke.
Yes, I spoke to him.
Okay. Don't do that. Don't call the numbers because they're going to get some sort of impression of you, no offense, but you're hiring me to negotiate and to speak on your behalf. So you had a discussion.
It was to check. Sorry, it was to double check.
No, I understand.
It was a good...
This is a process. This is rarely a sprint, often a marathon. Okay? So
okay.
I'm going through what I see. 2,400 square feet, 27 washers. The rent is $4,685 a month. The rent is very high for a laundromat. The business is for sale. How do you know?
Because I got the listings for sale.
Okay. Is that how you found the laundromat? Because it was for sale?
Oh, I was looking for a laundromat, and then I found that one.
So that's a yes or no question. We don't look for laundromats for sale through brokers or websites because you'll find them, and you'll see the sale price. None of this means anything. What is this laundromat worth?
The value?
How do we get it? I'm just being rhetorical. It's where did they arrive at the price of $265,000?
I don't know.
Neither do they. No idea.
No idea.
You spoke to the landlord about the laundromat?
Yes, I.
Okay. Tell me how the conversation went. You're not writing any of it down, so tell me how it went. What did you say?
Okay. I just say hello. My name is Bernadette. I am in the business of laundromats, and then my partner and I, we are working on that business. So I just want to make sure that you are the owner, the landlord for that laundromat.
And he's an immigrant, so he said I want to meet because he's an immigrant, right? He speaks with an accent.
Yeah. He said, when are we going to meet? I said, I would like to talk. Okay.
He's probably under the impression that you want to buy the business. That's the other thing. And again, I'll be crystal clear that we are not going to buy it. We have no intention of purchasing it. We need to get that out there. If the if the tenant is paying the rent on time, we're done.
Oh, yeah?
Do you understand how to get a laundromat for free? We negotiate with landlords in existing laundromats where the rent is not being paid, where the owner is falling apart. We are after infrastructure. You couldn't build this laundromat for $265,000. It's preposterous.
Yeah.
All right, let's call Gusta. Here we go. You can mute your phone, please. Be prepared to take good notes. You need to write down everything he says because in 10 minutes or certainly 10 days, you'll forget.
Oh, okay. So.
All right, here we go. Stand by. Gusta, is it? I'm Danny.
Hello?
Gusta. Am I saying that right?
No. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the landlord here at... I'm probably slaughtering your name. I'm sorry. My name's Danny.
Okay. How are you?
Good. Gusta? I mean, how else could you say it?
Gusta.
Gusta. All right. There we go. Is Gus an insult?
No, not at all.
All right. Gusta. I got it. Danny D'Angelo. I'm looking at... this is a laundromat, my friend, and that's what I do. I've been doing laundromats for about 15 years. You spoke with my partner, Bernadette, briefly. French accent, lovely gal. We are looking to build out some more stores in Toronto, and simply, Gusta, what I do, I look for existing infrastructure, and then we sign long-term leases and pay that rent on time by retooling. You know, I'm looking to sign a long-term lease with you, make the rent on time by putting brand new equipment in the store, etc. Your tenant happens to be trying to sell the business. I'm not buying. I'm not looking to buy it. If you've got a good tenant, if they're doing well, if they're paying rent on time, then leave it the way it is. I don't blame you. But if it's time to talk terms, maybe we can talk about how we can get into the space and change everything. Again, knowing what I know, I'm after infrastructure, cards on the table. I don't want to build a laundromat because it's costly. And I don't buy them at any price because I did that years ago, and there's no need for that. You follow?
Okay.
So I don't know. If it's time to talk terms, I'd love to do that, and we can discuss what type of rent you need to take in. If they are doing well, then maybe we'll talk in 6 days or 6 months or 6 years. I'm not a broker or an agent. I don't flip the stores. We are operators, so we intend to operate. I've walked through the store more than once. The equipment is very old. It's time for a retool, and we spend that money. That make sense?
Okay. So, looking for a new lease?
Correct. You got it.
What kind of a lease are you looking for?
Well, I do 15-year terms because every 7 I'm retooling. So if it's a 5 and a 5 and a 5, that's A-okay. I can't do anything about what you have to charge us as far as tax and triple net cams. I can't change TMI or HST, but the rent has to be commensurate for a laundromat because we are retooling. It is not a dollar store or a nail salon. It's a laundromat. It will be $5 or $6 grand a month in the cost of the washers and dryers themselves. So you have to tell me, what's the jumping off point? What's the best you can do, that type of operation?
Well, like you said, TMIs are just going up and up and up, so...
Sure. That's fine. There's nothing I can do about that.
Off the top
I'm not
of my head
looking
right
to change
now, with the rent and TMI and the HST, should be just over 5,000, like 5,300.
Okay. And $5,300 all in is typical rent because of the rate of rent for that area of Toronto, Ontario, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, well, yes and no. The property tax don't work like that. It's considered Toronto, whether you're downtown or you're West End or East End. It's the same rate.
100%.
It's not fair.
100%.
I got
like I said at the beginning,
$30,000 a year property tax over here. So.
Right. And Gusta, there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing. Neither can you. But let's talk about...
I tried fighting it a few years back, but then we're back to square one, so it's not worth all the fees and blah, blah, blah. You save maybe $1,000 a year,
I'd like to talk about the rate, meaning what you are collecting. So for a laundromat, this is not a glamorous business. Your tenant is selling because they're failing. That's all. Your tenant is selling because they're not earning. So they're trying to squeeze $265 grand out of some poor sucker. And if they sell it to someone, it will be someone who has the money, a doctor or lawyer or otherwise intelligent person looking for a tax benefit. And who are you stuck with? You're stuck with an ignorant tenant who's got old equipment, a poor business model, and a failed business, and they won't be able to pay your rate. Now let's back up. We might talk for the next few months. We might get to the LOI stage. Here's the difference. When I scoop up laundromats, I'm paying commensurate rates of rent that have nothing to do with the rate in Toronto. What I'm dealing with is the rate for a typical laundromat. I make half of my money on Sunday. The other half is the rest of the week. I can't change that either. It's not sexy or glamorous. Now, add to that, what your current tenant isn't doing is paying for new equipment. I will be. And trust me, Gusta, I don't want to come to you in 6 months or 6 years, hat in hand, begging for a rent reduction. I won't do that to you. So your choice is, I'm not calling today to punch you in the gut. I'm saying, hey, maybe if you can get 53 or 54 from a Starbucks or a national chain, maybe you should vanilla the space. I don't know. That's your business. But that rate it's not survivable for a laundromat. As you know, considering your current tenant can't pay it, and they're trying to sell the business for that very reason. We all understand that. So I don't want you to lose money. That doesn't make sense. I own commercial properties. I don't want to lose money. But sometimes we take a business model and it goes the way of the dodo. It goes away. You know what I mean?
So you're not going to buy his business?
Oh, good God, no. I thought we had that out of the way and understood. Not for a penny. Nope.
So how is this going to work?
Okay. If he's paying the rent on time, for me, it won't work. He's great. If he's able to sell it, you're stuck with an ignorant tenant. That's another direction. If and when he comes to you and says, I'm done, can't do it anymore, call me. That's all. I'm a good, strong, long-term laundromat operator. I'm going to spend probably $250,000 on equipment. The whole business is washers and dryers. It's nothing more than that.
I know. I opened up that store myself.
So you made the money, and then he got rid of it, and now you got a tenant who wants to get rid of it. I love it. I like your style. So you understand me. I've opened 32 stores in the last 10 years, and I paid for 2 of them. Those were my mistakes.
Right.
We're used to our phone ringing, Gusta, and it's somebody selling newspapers. You hang up the phone, you say, F you, I don't want a newspaper. I'm not calling to sell anything. I'm calling to talk to you about doing business long term, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. When something changes, let me know.
Waiting for him to go under?
Not just him. I'll make 12 calls today in Toronto. This is an introduction. Would you buy his business for $265,000? God, no. I know that. Of course not.
That's why I got out of it 20 years ago.
Sure. So we understand. I want to make sure that in this introduction that we understand each other perfectly. I'm Danny D'Angelo. I know how to pronounce your name. Let me send you an email. When something changes, reach out.
Okay.
What's your email address?
K.
But I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm Danny, my partner you spoke with briefly. And if and when something changes, we're all used to this whole, hey, I want this, you want that. We're not there yet. When and if your tenant decides to walk, call me back. We'll talk about that $5,300 rate, how plausible it is for a laundromat operator. Maybe we can work together. You make a few $100 a month. I make a few $100 a month. That's the way this works. Give me a holler.
All right.
Very nice talking to you.
Likewise. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Cheers.
Okay. Bye.
What did you hear?
Wow. I heard somebody who was very confident in what he's doing. That is you. The way you introduce yourself and you did it very professional. And also the landlord himself, he doesn't at least he's sincere by saying, okay, he wouldn't buy it for that price.
Right.
And also
so in the course and scope of one telephone call, our first call, your first call having hired me, you understand what I do and how I do. And it was kind of humorous because Gusta didn't really understand what I was trying to say. And then he's like, so you're not going to buy it? Oh, my God. I said that to begin with, but he wasn't really listening. Now he gets it. And you heard how telling it is when he says, well, what's it worth? Nothing. He gets where we're coming from. He understands how we operate. Now, this laundromat isn't going to fall into your lap. You need to get out and scout more stores and put them in front of me so we can make typical calls. Okay? I'll CC you in the email to him, and your homework, keep a close physical eye on this location and let me know if something changes. If they chain the doors, if a banner goes up that says for lease, let me know. Get after
or
it.
Just check on it to see if there is any change, anything happening.
Precisely what I said, yes.
And now you're going to just send him an email?
The email is the end of this conversation for you and I and him. He'll have it. He'll understand what we do, which he already does. Like I said, you need to keep a physical eye on the location and reach out to me regarding this location if anything changes.